Hello, I'm John Sargent, and welcome to Argumental, the show where the finest minds in British comedy debate the biggest issues facing mankind. Can we survive without oil? Is space exploration a waste of time? And should Boris Johnson's barber be hung or shot? Here to argue such hot topics and others like them are our teams. In the red corner, Captain Marcus Brigstock, and special guest, Sue Perkins. And in the blue corner, Team Captain Rufus Hound and special guest Andrew Maxwell. OK, let's get started with round one, where our teams argue about an issue that's had us all frothing at the mouth recently. This week, it's this. The credit crunch, the financial crisis that means the television you're watching this show on is now worth more than your house. Our bank accounts are emptier than John Leslie's work diary. And it's all because some idiot bankers gave your money to poor people in America who spent it all on guns and fried chicken. In fact, the only thing that's still in the black is Alistair Darling's eyebrows. It's all doom and gloom. Or is it? I don't know. Let's find out. The first topic I'd like the team to argue about is this. The credit crunch is a good thing. Starting us off tonight, captain of the red team, Marcus Brigstock.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm going to explain to you very briefly, as if you don't already know, how and why the credit crunch is a good thing. Of course, a lot of people are going to suffer any minute now. Andrew Maxwell's going to get up here and tell you how ghastly it all is. We haven't got enough money. But bear in mind who is suffering the most, ladies and gentlemen. Estate agents. From that, surely, we can derive some pleasure. Where do uneducated, stupid people with no qualifications go to wear a fat tie and a big slabby forehead? That's right, they go into a estate agency. Do I get a free mini? OK, I'll do it. These are the people that are suffering the most, ladies and gentlemen. Surely it's worth us going through a little bit of a financial squeeze for some of these hideous bastards to end up on the scrap heap. There's money everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. People have got loads of money. It just needs to be redistributed more carefully. People are buying James Blunt albums. Why? Because there's too much money out there. Rufus Hound pays a barber to make his hair and beard work look like that. There's too much money out there. OK? It's just a question of getting the money back from where it is. We can go and ask some people who've got too much money. I think it's about time we went over to Jersey, to some of those tax-dodging, inbred, children-abusing freaks. Start knocking on their door and saying, listen, you've had a free ride for long enough, you weirdos. You start paying back some of the money you owe us or we're going to sell you to China. Listen, there are great things about the credit crunch. You want to know a fantastic thing? Carol Vorderman will be doing fewer adverts for loans companies. There's the little cherry. There's a little something, a little cutout and keep, that hideous raptor of a woman. Hello, the elderly. I'm Carol Vorderman. You may recognise me from Countdown. I'm the one that's good with numbers. Remortgage your house. I want to live on your brickwork. Consolidating your loans. These are the ones, they're the ones that drive me nuts. I mean, if the credit crunch gets rid of these, surely there's a lot to enjoy from there. These people wandering on the road. Hello, are you being shafted week after week after week by hundreds of little cocks? Why not phone us and let us consolidate those little cocks into one enormous screw in the arse that'll last the rest of your life? Ladies and gentlemen, you will vote in favour of the red team tonight because you know it makes sense. The credit crunch is a good thing. Thank you.
Now, opposing Marcus on behalf of the blue team, it's Andrew Maxwell.
10 minutes.
No, I'm no big city slickin' lawyer like Marcus Brigstock here. I mightn't be able to baffle you with all sorts of class warfare like Marcus Brigstock. My argument is thus. I'm opposed to the credit crunch because I have less money.
That's a good argument.
Thank you. It's not rocket science, it's money. I like money. Now I've got less money. Now, money isn't happiness. We all know happiness is a laptop and everybody else in bed. I'm opposed to the credit crunch for one very good reason. In a word, sovereign wealth funds. It's 3 words. Sovereign wealth funds. Now, previously, we've been getting all our cheap money from Chinese current accounts. Now, the Chinese ain't giving us the money anymore because we've turned out to be really crap at it. Now, we need money, and it's coming from dictatorships in Central Asia and in the Middle East. Slowly but surely, this is going to erode our liberty and democracy. Now, I don't have any great punchlines about daytime celebrities to wrap this up. All I'm saying is, people, the credit crunch is bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, before you make up your minds who you're voting for this evening, just listen to the voices on either side of this. No. On one side, a horny-handed son of the soil. A real genuine human being with real genuine emotions. Let's look over here. Oh, my Jesus. Marcus Brigstock has no idea whether the credit crunch is good or bad. This is a man who wipes his arse on live minks.
It's not even his real name. His real name's Marcus von Brigstock. German.
Marcus Brigstock's address is the Ivory Tower over the Rainbow, Disneyland. That is how far away he is from normal people. Marcus Brigstock has 2 butlers. An everyday butler made of solid gold and a butler for best who is Michael Gambon.
And we get by with just those 2 butlers. And that's what I'm doing. That's my little bit to help out with the credit crunch. You know, we've laid off one of the butlers. But I will not take lessons on financial prudence from a man who clearly comes from Ireland, a place that has spent the last 10 years
You're patently Irish.
screwing money out of Europe. Hello, it's Ireland here. Can we have some free cash? And then they get to vote on the European Constitution. Well, thanks for all the free stuff, but I tell you what, bollocks to you, we're shutting the door. And you, mentioning my name, look at you, Rufus Hound. What do you think, you're a blues singer, for God's sake? You look like Chesney Hawkes' younger brother.
What? It turns out he wasn't the one and only.
No.
Yeah.
It's sort of younger Chesney Hawkes at a William Shakespeare convention.
What I want to know is this, OK?
Oh, look, now he's on again.
Now with the pointing.
He's trying to drive science away from the issue with his tedious dragging in of minor celebrities. Let's bring it back to the issue. Sovereign wealth funds.
Yeah.
Deal with that.
Here's the other thing.
You can't tell me exactly which sovereign wealth fund's buying my beloved Liverpool FC. No, you cannot.
I'll tell you what I am enjoying is Rufus Sound nodding along with your arguments. I'd like you to explain for us, Rufus, what a sovereign wealth fund is. Go ahead, my friend.
Do it in mime. Go on.
It is... Do you know something? I don't think now is the time.
Yes, it is. You pixie-faced turncoat.
The intricacies of international economics. Some people have come here for a laugh. And do you know why? Because coming to a free television recording is about the only thing they can afford, thanks to...
OK, very well done, both teams. You've heard both sides, but who made the best case? It's time for our studio audience to decide. So hold up your red card for Marcus and Sue, or your blue card for Rufus and Andrew.
Oh, you delight. Yes.
So a win for the red team. Well done, Marcus and Sue.
Thank you. What is going on? Feel free to good people.
In America, the credit problem was caused by subprime loans, although here our problems are caused by a subprime minister. Next up is the slideshow. One member from each team will be tackling a hot topic while incorporating into their argument a series of random images that they've never seen before. Rufus, you're up first, and the topic I'd like you to argue is this. There are too many celebrity magazines. Here's a picture to start you off.
Well, that seems like a good picture to start off with. Because we can see there a woman with some celebrity magazines, of which there are too many.
Oh, you can retire.
Job done. I think we all basically agree with this. I don't think you're going to take too much convincing. I mean, I think it's bad enough that Cheryl Cole actually exists without the expectation that I want to see what her wedding was like. Ooh, horrible. 99.9% of right-minded people agree with me. The rest of those people live in Croydon. Anybody in from Croydon?
Yes. I take your eyes and then your genitals. Croydon way.
It's the Croydon way.
It's the Croydon
That's
way.
how Croydon-
Simply done.
See, I propose we get rid of all of these magazines and replace them with the exact opposite of OK Magazine, called Not Really OK Magazine, which is pages and pages of celebrity illness. I'm sniffly, says Vorderman. Ronan's back sack and crack wax misery. I mean, you can barely enter a newsagent without the celebrity magazine soliciting for your attention. Hello? OK. Closer. Now, reveal. Bella, bella. Grazia. You don't feel like you should buy them so much as leave some money on their bedside table and sneak out the back. Gandhi. Cut me some slack, yeah?
Thank you, Rufus. Taking the opposite view for the red team, it's Sue Perkins. Here's a picture to start you off.
Ah, yes. Without hello, where would Prince Harry be right now? Empty-handed, just doing this. Just pumping air, waiting for something to fill it. Let's face it, without celebrity magazines, there are no paparazzi. And quite frankly, it's better that the paparazzi are hiding in hedges, lady hedges with cameras, because at least you can then see where their hands are. Imagine if there were no pints, for instance, for them to cradle in their outstretched hands. Of course, in the absence of cameras, paparazzi can simply empty out the Guinness, that beautiful Irish nectar, onto the ground and use them as strange binoculars. Global warming, of course, has left penguins with little to do other than just skimp around on arid grassland, wondering what next for Kerry Katona and her children. Who is that individual? Well, if you read Heat magazine this week, Gillian, I've got a bust spine and a can't-do-Hibernian attitude, will tell you that that is the man/woman/transsexual burger-eating whore who features on page 3, mainlining Quality Street from mouth to anus in a smorgasbord of confectionery madness. There's John Sargent. See him nude. It's a thing of beauty.
Well done, Sue. It's now time for our studio audience to decide who made the best case. Red cards for Sue, blue cards for Rufus. Vote now.
There you go.
Come on, the Reds.
We've won again. We've won again.
Come on, the Reds.
So, a win for the red team. You've convinced the audience there aren't enough celebrity magazines. I was moaning about that just the other day with my mate, the tranny from Big Brother 6. Well done, Sue Perkins. After the break, we'll be asking if Piers Morgan shows Britain really does have talent. Don't go away. Welcome back to Argumental, the show with more verbal conflict than the Oasis tour bus. We crack on with our celebrity round, and the cultural titan under the scrutiny tonight is this man. Piers Morgan, or to give him his full name, Piers Stephen Pugh-Morgan. He doesn't use the Pew or the Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub. Morgan is the former editor of the Daily Mirror, and one of the few peers not to have been burnt down this summer. It's a good joke, that, isn't it? But the statement I'd like the teams to argue over is this. Piers Morgan shows Britain really does have talent. Rufus, could you start us off, please?
Do it, Rufus.
Yeah, thanks. Piers Morgan not only shows that Britain's got talent, but also exactly what that talent is. I hate to be the one to break it to you, ladies and gentlemen, but we are internationally renowned for making a profit out of absolute horseshit. Look at it, right? Jade Goody, Peaches Geldof, Callum Best, all household names, all millionaires, yet all intrinsically devoid of any discernible talent whatsoever. Now, let's take the Spice Girls as an example, right? The biggest selling girl group of all time, all they had to do was sing a bit and dance a bit. But they couldn't sing and they couldn't dance. That would be like working in Dixon's and being unable to talk to customers or understand electrical things. Now, if I'm going to watch a talent show with dancing dogs and waterlogged break-dancing teenagers, then I want a scandal-ridden former tabloid editor to tell me who to vote for. And think of those who, upon hearing of Piers' involvement with the show, thought to themselves, you know, I think if a premium-rate phone line is attached, this whole farrago might even be self-financing. That is the kind of financial talent we need in this country. If Gordon Brown had the good sense to run the entire British economy on a phone vote system, we'd be back in the black by Christmas. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that the British are innately gifted turd polishers. And that being the case, if we're looking for a poster boy for our national abilities, well, I can think of no worthier nominee than the man who put the turd in Saturday Night. Mr. Piers Morgan.
Right, Sue Perkins, is Rufus talking out of his arse?
Yes, that's one turd I wouldn't like to polish. This is a two-dimensional Piers Morgan, which literally has one more dimension to it than the real Piers Morgan. For your information, it also has two more dimensions to it than Amanda Holden. Now, if Britain has got talent, why isn't any of it on the panel judging it? This is a man, look at him, the Jowlmeister. A man so saggy-faced and blotchy, his eyes like raisins and a half-baked sponge, who, when they were going to think about making a Madame Tussauds wax effigy of him, realised they were going to have to melt down both ant and deck just to fashion the jawline. This scuzzy, sleazy, ex-tabloid editor turned TV pundit is basically Janet Street Porter without the charm. That's what he is. Without any of the warmth and the vim and the wit. Do we really need him? Do we need this guy? The guy that makes us think, God, I miss the happy days of Louis Walsh. I mean, you've got to really wonder what a man is contributing. And what kind of talent has he revealed to us as a nation? Very, very little. So far, he's spotted some pirouetting collies, a fat man who can sing a little bit of opera, whose name sounds a bit like Pol Pot, and a spotty, dysfunctional teenager who, yes, can break dance, Rufus, but only when a shower head is trained on his cranium. Which means, as an international act, he is severely restricted. So this shows that Britain excels in only one thing. The only thing we have got talent at is being shit at spotting talented people. That is it. I end my case. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Marcus and Andrew, do you want to put something in
Yes,
favour
I'd
of
like
your
to
teammate?
John. Piers Morgan is, you know, he's unpleasant but necessary. Some, you know, like a finger in the arsehole. Do you know what I mean, John? I mean, what I'm saying is, he's not for every night. But occasionally, you know what I mean?
What he's saying is that your argument, Sue, was fundamentally that Piers Morgan shows Britain's got talent and that talent is being shit.
No, my talent is so bad at spotting things. He can't even spot faked pictures of people at Abu Ghraib being abused by British soldiers in his own newspaper.
In fairness, Rufus did torture some people at Abu Ghraib.
But to be honest, Marcus, I promised you a bloody good stag do.
We had a good time. We had a good time. It was a good time.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
It was fun. The question is, Piers Morgan is proof that Britain has got talent. Britain has got talent. That means we have to average out the talent in Britain. We've produced some stunningly talented people.
For sure.
The Rolling Stones.
Oh, yeah.
2 of the Beatles.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. Some wonderful, very, very talented people. But on balance, you know that Britain is not a talented place when you visit any supermarket and you hear the words problem in the bagging area.
Return bags.
People can't even swipe their own item.
Hang on a second, you cannot lay the fact that people can't operate the checking-in
I lay it at Morgan's desk.
Morgan's feet.
Morgan's desk.
I know
He has helped to stupefy the people of this
No,
country.
no, he hasn't.
Look at me, I will make you thick. Swipe it.
The only good thing about Piers Morgan is he did stand up against the invasion of Iraq when pretty much the entire British media was supine towards the Crown. And he did.
Proving that Britain itself does not have talent, I think. Thank you, Andrew, for putting
No,
on
hang on. Don't do the old double-back twister. These people aren't falling for that guff. Britain has got talent. Piers Morgan proves Britain's got talent. That isn't to say every human being has talent, otherwise there could be no such concept of talent, because we would all have it. That would be like saying everybody on Krypton had superpowers. They don't. It's only Earth's yellow sun that gives them to him. It made him special. Not everybody has adamantium claws and healing capabilities. That is Wolverine. Not everybody can shoot webs out of their hands. That is Spider-Man. And not everybody wakes us, let us get up in the morning, feel slightly superior about ourselves. But Piers Morgan does. That is why you should vote blue. I will not be cowed by you.
OK, thank you very much, teams. No, vigorous. Good, vigorous. So once again, I turn to our studio audience for their verdict. It's a blue card for Andrew and Rufus, and a red for Sue and Marcus. Vote now.
It's Piers Morgan, folks.
Like,
Look
think
at
about
his
what
face.
you're doing.
Come on! Bite me!
All of you holding up a blue card, you
Shame.
are voting for Piers Morgan. Listen.
Okay.
No.
I've got to reveal the score.
No, I'm sorry, Marcus. They are voting for a finger in the bottom.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll go blue as well.
The nation has spoken. It's a victory for the blue team. Piers Morgan is a man who inspires mixed emotions, hatred and loathing. You can say what you like about Piers, but he does have an incredible talent. It's not often that Simon Cowell can sit next to someone who's even more smug and annoying than he is. Piers Morgan isn't the only former tabloid editor to have done well. Calvin Mackenzie has his own chat show, Andrew Neil hosts a political programme, and the chimp who edits the Daily Star can pull the aerial off a Ford Mondeo.
Good call, Sergeant.
Yes, thank you. Time now for our final quickfire round and a last chance for the teams to prove how argumental they really are. I'll show them a series of pictures, and all they have to do is suggest an argument to go with them. OK, here we go.
I think that's an argument for smoking. He just looks cool.
Yeah. He's one of the kids, though.
If you look behind him, he's drawn a crowd there as well.
Yeah, but everybody else in prison wonders what he had to do to get that many cigarettes.
I think you'll find that is an argument against wearing your hat backwards. He looks like an idiot.
Hang on, though. In fairness, considering what he's doing, I think wearing it forward would be a bit dangerous.
OK, we're moving on.
I think this is a powerful argument for the delusional power of really good quality 70s cocaine. A drug powerful enough to make Britain's gayest man marry a woman.
This is so deluded. There's even a stone figure on the wall that's going gay.
Oh, yes, that's the gay gargoyle. Is it an argument for not dressing like a gondolier? And that's not Cockney rhyming slang, by the way.
I'd say we're all going to feel really stupid if that turns out to be another dude.
Well, that's an argument for David Furnish, and I find that difficult to say. But maybe that's what it is.
Surely the giveaway that he's gay is that even his shirt is a little sailor boy outfit.
In that case, is it an argument for letting Elton John take you up the aisle?
Is this an argument for the panel to express their barely concealed, brittle, slightly troubled attitudes towards homosexuality in the twilight of modern existence?
It is, I think that's true. On we go.
I think this is a pretty strong argument for replacing all of the BBC's shoulder-mounted cameras with rocket-propelled grenades.
Howitzer.
Yeah.
Is that an argument for Boris Johnson should admit that he has a bastard child in the background?
Let's have another picture.
Is it an argument for the use of the phrase, damn, that is one good-looking cow?
Is that an argument for not mooing loudly in an avalanche-prone area?
Is it an argument for always double-checking before you have a wank in a barn? always just twice.
OK, that's it. So for the final time, it's down to our studio audience to decide who made the best case. Red for Marcus and Sue, and blue for Rufus and Andrew. Vote now.
I love you. I love you. Oh. I love you! I love you! I love each and every one of you.
Except for the red one, sir.
Yeah.
So, I can tell you that the blue team have easily won the round, which means this week's winners are the blue team. Well done, Rufus Hound and Andrew Maxwell. Commiserations to Marcus Brigstock and Sue Perkins. That's all we've got time for. Good night.
If that wasn't quite enough to satisfy your argumental-based cravings, then you need to get yourself over to our website, my son. It's joindave.co.uk. And next tonight, it's a new to Dave Mock the Week. Mighty!